Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of My Hero Multiversity. This series that is a culmination / crossover of all my previous series on my channel. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, there will be a link in the description below and annotation above. As always, feel free to leave a like if you enjoy and subscribe if you are new. In the previous episode, Paradox went to go get help from Deku, the version of Midoriya that has the Omnitrix, having him take them to another universe where they got help from Peter Parker and another version of Midoriya. 2 months before the events of the first episode, or 5 years depending on who you ask, on Earth 10 of the MHA timeline, the one where Midoriya has the Omnitrix, All For One sits in prison, in his cell, thinking, when suddenly a portal opens. The turrets that are in Tartarus for security start firing, but as the bullets get closer and closer to All For One, they start going slower and slower until they just stop. Eon steps out of the portal and asks, "Are you the villain known as All For One?" All For One answers, "I am. What business do you seek with me? You're obviously not of this earth." Eon says, "I am here to offer you a deal. You are the most powerful human on this earth. You have a really useful ability that can be used to our advantage." All For One asks, "And what if I refuse?" Eon says, "Well, once I leave, time resumes passing normally, so the bullets would kill you." All For One says, "I'm not worried. I'm here by choice." He then breaks through the restraint, standing up very easily. He says, "Do you expect me to join you just because of an idle threat? No, sir. It will take more than that. I understand that you can gain from me working with you. But what do I gain?" Eon says, "I have a rare ability as well. The ability to traverse space and time, and thanks to this device, the Potus Altiarity, my reach is infinite." All For One asks, And what, with all that power, why do you still need me? What is your plan?" Eon stutters and asks, "My plan?" All For One says, "Yes, your goal. You have all this power. What are you hoping to achieve with it?" Eon says, "I'm going to kill Paradox. That Time Walker has been a thorn in my spine for far too long." All For One asks, "All that power, and you want to kill one man? You could do anything. Now I know why you came to me. I've allied myself with a few aliens before, but they all had a direction, a concrete objective that they hoped to achieve. I know why you are here now. You came here for direction from me. Let me say this. I'm intrigued by your proposition. Let's discuss it further, in a place a bit more private." Both of them then disappear, being teleported away. Time resumes, and an alarm is sounded on Tartarus. Eon and All For One appear inside the time stream, the place between places. All For One looks stunned for a moment, but gets his composure back almost immediately. He asks, "Where are we?" Eon says, "A place where we are untouchable. A place that doesn't exist. The place between places. We're everywhere and nowhere at once. We're in the middle of the Omniverse." All For One looks around, seeing flashes of his own life and of infinite versions of himself. Many being where he just was, many being dead, many being fighting right now. Infinite. He sees infinity. All For One says, "So the multiverse theory is correct then. Interesting turn of events. You know a lot more than me. What plan do you have? Why did you need me?" Eon says, "I need your help to kill the Time Walker. He always finds a way to thwart my plans." All For One says, again, "Your plans revolve around killing one person. Widen your scope. I'm sorry, what's your name?" Eon says, "You can call me Eon." "And what are you proposing?" All For One says, "You need to widen your scope, Eon. Make a better plan with a better objective. You're the one with all the knowledge in the universe. You are the one who can come up with the greatest plan, but you don't. You lack vision. Eon puts his hand into the time string, grabbing a machine. He puts a thingy on All For One's head and pushes a couple of buttons. A spike of energy goes into All For One's head and he falls to the ground. What's happening is all the knowledge that Eon has is going into All For One's brain. At least all the knowledge Eon wants him to have. All For One gets back up and says, I know what to do now. Here's the deal, Eon. You have the ability to traverse the omniverse. You help me, and in turn, we will rule over what is left of the omniverse when we're done. Eon asks, what are you planning on doing? All For One smiles and explains it to Eon. They spend the next 5 years going around the omniverse, gathering an army. A small army, but still a very powerful one, and preparing to set their plans into motion. They spend most of the time gathering quirks for All For One, items, and team members. 2 months ago, at least for All For One, on Earth 54 of the My Hero Academia timeline, the one where Superboy is in the MHA world, All For One walks through the streets of this Earth. All For One sees a specific hero and says, time to cause a ruckus. All For One goes to punch the ground to destroy the area around him, but the hero Sideways steps up and blocks the attack before All For One can do it though, creating a rift to send the attack elsewhere. Sideways says, let's take this somewhere less destructive, shall we? Sideways opens a rift below the feet of both of them. They fall and reappear somewhere in the countryside. All For One puts his hand on Sideways' face, stealing his quirk. Sideways tries to open a rift but can't. Sideways asks, what did you do? All For One opens a rift and says, I gave myself a means of transportation in this side of the multiverse. All For One then kills Sideways, kind of with one punch, dropping his body in the middle of the city. All For One then returns on his own to his base of operations. In the present, on Earth 532015, All For One finishes defeating All Might and a half-ghost version of Midoriya. Eon then joins All For One as both of them walk inside the Phantom Works ghost holding facility. They walk towards a specific cell. As they walk towards the cell that they are looking for, Eon asks, are you sure we need him? All For One says yes. He is an expert in technology and will prove to be an invaluable part of the team. Eon asks, what makes you think he will join us this time? What makes this version different? They walk into the cell. All For One says, you're definitely the one we're looking for. Technus asks, who are you? All For One says, my name is All For One. I have a small business proposition for you, my soon-to-be ally. Technus asks, what sort of business proposition? All For One says, to make it quick, since I've done this so many times and I want to save time, we give you your freedom and the chance to survive the coming crisis. Of course, the one we will be causing, and in return you just have to help us. Technus smiles and says, very well then. I, Technus, accept your deal. Just free Technus, the master of technology, and I'll join you. All For One pulls a lever and Technus is released. All For One then opens a portal, teleporting him and his companions to his base of operations. In a different timeline, let's call it Earth 0. They all step out with a huge amount of people there. Technus asks, why are all these people here? All For One says, we're preparing an army. Technus asks, for what? All For One says, to invade Chronostasia. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like to show your support, and subscribe if you're new. If you have any suggestions, theories, or whatnot, please leave them in the comments below. I really want to read them. Until next time, everyone, have an absolutely fantastic day, and remember, next episode out on Monday. Bye!